Hello, it is Lord Haywire. I'm streaming some 2D4X like I do most weekends. I hope this isn't rattling. It kind of sounds like it's rattling every once in a while. My headset rattles. I don't think you guys can hear it. I think it's just me. I gotta activate my sources here for... Oh, it automatically did it. I tried to do things differently today, and I guess one thing worked. 2D4X is a 2D4X game that I'm working on. I was doing a little. I fired it up trying to remind myself what I was doing here from last weekend. But basically, it's gonna be a map painting game like Dominion, CK3, whatever Paradox games. These are our 7 test counties, and right now we're working on getting it so that the hero can explore with this little checkbox here. And they're supposed to get a bonus from the people who are with them. And one of the things we need to do, though, is make it so that these people equip the same equipment that the hero has, so that they get a bonus that helps them give this guy a bonus. And the first thing that there's an issue with is that we're not like clearing this out, so that when you go to another person, it always says the same thing. Man, that looks bad. But that's, we're just making it work first before we have a beautification. I'm actually not feeling too up to programming today. But I have this theory now that it's when I eat a ton of chocolate ice cream. So I once a month I have a bunch of ice cream because I'm a fiend for ice cream. And so I think it's the days that I chow down on a ton of ice cream that is the days that I don't feel like programming the most. I don't know. It must somehow affect my brain. Is this shit working? I feel... There we go. It was not working. I updated it earlier too because I was hoping there was this other thing that I could do. Anyway, so this excuse me, this game is open source, and we have a project here. So this is what we need to do first, is when visibility changes on the population description control, we need to have a new method in here that like hides everything. It hides everything. It hides something. So we need it to, we'll put it in here, change all inventory items to none. This is what we need it to do, actually. And then we need to remember how this works. How the hell am I doing the inventory items? I'm hoping chat will come and ask me a question that will make it so that I have something to talk about besides programming, because like I said, I'm not like I'm not ready for the programming brain yet. It might get warmed up. Sometimes it does. So what are we doing here? Populate hero equipment is probably... Yeah, this is kind of what I was looking for. I'm listening to music that you guys can't hear, and it's already to the point where I don't like it. What the fuck am I listening to here? We'll listen to this. You guys can't hear it, but it's still... Yeah, the silence is deafening to me when I'm not. What does this thing do? Because we might be able to just strip. You know what we could do instead is in this populate... I wonder... I have a thought here. I don't know... When we go from here, I can't remember if we're clicking on here, if it's... I don't think this is actually closing and opening again. I think it's just repopulating this. So let's see how that works, because that's going to be part of the problem. We might... I don't know, let's see how it works. I can't remember. That is going to be... What is this thing called? This is a button under subordinates. We instantiate these somewhere. populate hero equipment, get equipment. This is just adds it to a list. This is under the inventory, VBox container, update number of subordinates, update, okay, where's this button? Where do these buttons work? They're gonna probably be their own scene. Let's see here. It's a UI scene. This is probably subordinate button. What does this thing do? What? It doesn't seem this thing doesn't do anything. What is this here? You know what we could do is you can actually with this newer version. I'm not on the newest version of Godot. I don't want to test their dev versions anymore. So I'm staying on this one until they get a new stable version out. But you know, I think what we can do is I think you can now select the element here. I think that's how that works. And it will bring it up in remote. I haven't really used it, but let's see if we can. I think we can go, oh, we need a subordinate. I also, what? We just got an error. Oh, right. We created this and then we didn't do anything with it. Okay, I think we can ignore that. Maybe not. You know what? It's funny because when I saw that this was sitting here, I was thinking, I always delete those immediately, but I was like, oh, this time it'll be fine. And of course it was not fine. So let's see what we got here this time. So we got to recruit some people. This person can have 12. And you know that when I first ran this before I started streaming, I think they recruited 2 people in a row and they're not supposed to be able to. Yeah, I think they did. Okay, we're on day 2 there. I was just making sure that was working. Service, we'll have to keep an eye on it. Recruited, service will work. So if we go to here, I think we can go 2D. Okay, that didn't work. Allow game input, disable and allow to select 2D nodes controls and manipulate the camera. Well, I don't seem to be able to select that. That was my hope. Let's take a look at one of these in remote. So what is this button called? Melissa Cooper. Yeah, we know that that's what it is. There's no exported variables in here. I think it might be this subordinate thing. I wonder how we're controlling it. I can't remember. So description, let's just find where we're instantiating it. Let's go up to the top. And what is this thing called? Hero recruitment confirm, population, hero button clicked. Oh, that's all their stats. There's the skills, subordinates, VBox container. So this is going to hold the subordinates. Joker, how's it going? This one could use some, actually. I was like, does this one need any? It could use some groups. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. I want to search this. There we go. Update number of subordinates, update subordinates. This is what we want. So what does this thing do? We need your plugin. Rise of the Ronin, what's that? What type of game is that? Clear buttons. Okay, and so then this, this is where we're actually putting this, we're connecting this signal. And then we open subordinates description panel. What does this actually do? Okay, it's right here. So we're not changing the visibility. So this wouldn't have worked anyways. The idea that the way I was going to make it before, why do you have a little green line underneath you? Make static? Sure, I don't give a shit. Okay, so what it's doing is when we click on this, well, we can't click it now. When we click on this, it's not closing this window and reopening it. It's just updating all the information here. So what we need to do then, in that case, is we need to move this new thing that I just wrote. Well, I mean, this is it. To somewhere in here, probably right here will be fine. We might want to put this inside the inventory VBox container. I actually think we do. Let's do that. I'm going to look up this game that you're playing. Do I not have that open right now? I do. So we will put it in here. Public void. And we will go look at this game. Any excuse not to program, right? Rise of the Ronin. Oh, it has mixed reviews. It's $50. The game based in Japan, historically and Souls-like, open world. Let's look at some pictures. I never look at the videos on Steam, ever, because a lot of times they're like cutscenes and stuff. It looks cool. Look at this strange gun with a bayonet. What year is this? Look at that cat. They know. They're like the internet's run on cats. It used to be porn, and now it's run on cats. So they knew. Oh, let me look over here. Performance. It's always performance these days. I don't know what the fuck is happening with every game that comes out. You know, I played a bunch of Ghost of something, and I actually was surprised that was... Oh, he's got a flamethrower! A well-known samurai weapon. So I don't know if that's the thing. Like, I almost feel... So, I almost feel like I'd rather have... No, I definitely feel like I'd rather have slightly worse graphics and be able to run the game than not... Like, you know, I'd rather have them try... Like, make it with slightly worse graphics. Yeah, it looks kind of interesting. What type of game is this? What is it? It's a online co-op. What's the deal with no co-op games either? Everything I hope for. Ghost is... That's the game I was trying to think of. Ghost is Tsushima. Well, I can't speak. Assassin's Creed, so much more. The combat is amazing. Let's get to the part where you shit on it. With that said, it's generally pains me to recommend this game, and the only reason it is horrible is because of the horrendous and unacceptable performance. It's Team Ninja. Are they... I don't know who they are. Are they renowned for putting out shitty games or something? It doesn't say. It's I think this game was on my wish list. I think this game was on my wish list. Oh, I played the demo for this the other day. It was bad. The demo was bad. Like, pretty terrible. It might still be on my computer, not this one, but and this one might still be on my wish list. I'm into, you know, strategy games, obviously, so I was like, this looks like kind of interesting. I always find it a lot of Asian games have like bad UIs. It's not unusual, and it's one of those things where they're all so similar that it's on purpose. You know what I mean? Like they're just like, this is good enough, that my game is gonna have bad UIs. So yeah, I don't remember if I took it off because I think somebody, like the people were talking about that. Yeah, like they like dumbed it down from the last one. So how do you like it? Oh, I had this one on my list too. I mean, there's a flamethrower in it. It's got to be good, right? All right. Change all inventory items to none. What do we got in here? We're going to... We actually could put this right in here. Right in here. So what we would do... I wonder why we're foring this. I'm not going to mess with it because it works. So well, let's see. For each, not node. What are those things? They're labels. Not in is it equipment? It's a list of labels. I guess so. Label. Q free. Thanks for the suggestion. We're gonna make this. And then we're gonna put this 20. Oh, you've already put in 20 hours after you're owning over 48. Were you able to adjust the setting though and get low or lowest? Oh, it sounds like you were able to adjust it. That's so it seems like literally every single game that comes out, it's like the performance is dog shit in certain parts or certain whatever. I was actually playing some CK3 last night on my good computer, and I was like, why are the graphics so shitty in this one part? Like so on this computer, CK3 looks kind of meh. And then on my other computer, I was just like, oh yeah, this game can look good. Wow. And then I opened up one part and it looked like shit. And I was like, why does this part look like shit though? And I was like, oh, right, because I turned off all of the good settings on CK3 because I used to stream it on my other computer. And that one thing, if I open up this one panel, it's like the court panel or whatever. And it kind of like you have to turn off all the animations and stuff. And so it affects other parts of the game. It's crazy. We need to call this. No, we don't need to call this. Let's go over. I was going to say we need to call it from here. Where's my thing here? Get out of here. We can just put this and populate hero equipment. Yeah, let's just jump over to here and we'll put... Well, that was not. Change? Why are you jumping? And then we will make this private. Why is shit jumping all over the place? Could you tell it was the first attempt? There was some game recently that I noticed they had an update to. What was that game? It was it was like a zombie apocalypse game, but you were fighting demons from hell instead, and it was kind of a unique idea. But I know that game you could tell that it was their first game. And to give you an idea, everything on standard low with the texture settings on standard drops to like 20. Everything ultra but text down low. Smooth. Yeah. Let's test this thing if we can. I also played Doors of Trithius last night because I saw a Splattercat video where he was playing it. And I was like, oh yeah, I want to play that. And they made a change to it that I think is because I whined about it. I'm not 100% sure, but when I've streamed Doors of Trithius a couple of times and the devs has showed up, and because I think that game's great. And I kept complaining about this one thing where like you can accidentally run into a room and it so like if it's a roguelike, if you click inside a room, you'll like run in there past monsters and they'll take swings at you and stuff. And then they changed it so that you stop running when you see a monster. And I was like, is that because of me? Maybe. Okay, so this all says none. He has not been equipped yet because no time has passed. If we click this, it should equip him with canned goods if we have any canned goods. Do we have any canned goods? We do not because I was testing it and I made it so that there was no canned goods. Let's let a few seconds pass. We still have no canned goods. We do not. Let's start recruiting someone just to see here. The first day of where it would attempt that has passed the recruiting, so we'll see what happens. Okay, 4 days have passed. We have some sort of food. All right, that seems to be working because my worry was that I put that in the wrong place or something, so it would be making it none all the time. But what we need is a subordinate now. There we got one. We did some research or scavenging or some shit. They're on none, which I think... I don't know if we put in the code where we'll have to look, where they actually get equipped. I think that's exactly where we were when I noticed this bug. So they shouldn't have anything currently. Oh, did I uncheck newest equipment? I think I did. Let's make sure that they're in service though. We want them to be, oh, okay, so they are in service. And they have none. Man, that looks terrible. I should put a panel in there so it looks better, but who cares? We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna have to go back through this. We're gonna have to hire an artist. Joker's an artist. We're gonna have to hire Joker. He doesn't do 2D stuff anymore, but we'll have to hire him against his will. Wait, was that wrong? No. There we go. Where are we going? All right, so I think this is good. I think we can close this issue, and then, but we need to actually equip them. We need to go through, take 3D and pixelize it. I don't want to, it's funny. I was talking to the dude at Coffee. This is a long time ago, and he actually does sound for video games, and video game creation came up. He does music for video games. Obviously, it's not that lucrative because he also works at the coffee shop. But he immediately was like, "Oh, you're gonna have pixel art," and I was like, "No, I don't like pixel art." And he was quite shocked. All right, quite shocked about no pixel art. All right, let's see. We need to, I was trying to think of what the hell we were doing here. I haven't thought about this very much. Okay, so we have these subordinate buttons. Population data has a spot for their equipment. It's like an array or some shit. Somewhere. A lot of crap on here. Equipment. Yeah, it's an array of good data. Cells. Dead cells. Dead souls. Dead cell souls. Dead soul cells. I don't know what you're talking about. Graphics. Dead cells is the game, or dead souls. What the hell is dead cells? Yeah, see, it's pixel art. Is this what you're talking about? This is 3D that they 2Dified and... I'm looking at it, I'm staring, and I was imagining, like, making it a map, map and movement and, like, top down type of thing. I think I'm going to do the people, though, for this map, kind of like CK3, but I'm going to have them, like, a token, but, like, on its side, not a down view. Like, a little bit, like, what do they call that perspective thing? Okay, so populate hero equipment. So we were most of the way through here. If it's a hero, wow, I wonder how we did this. This is kind of a pain if I remember, because they also have to like use the inventory and etc. etc. So what is this equipment count? So this is it's going through each equipment. Oh, okay. So first, okay, I remember. It's coming back to me. This part is just this putting like on the UI. This is equipping the equipment that's already saved somewhere on the population data. And every day, I don't think we need the quartermaster open. We probably will need that. We don't need load map. Yeah, so every day the quartermaster equips the heroes. Yeah, and there was a game to the top-down thing, and I always bring up this game. God, I wish I could remember the name of it. I think it might be on my wish list. I don't know if I'll ever be able to find it, though. I might have taken it off my wish list. But there was a game who did that. Isometric, I think, is what I want to do, is like kind of that 3D-ish. But there was a game that used that perfectly top down, and it looked really bad. And I've brought it up a bunch of times, and I felt bad because the game doesn't look bad. It's just that did I buy that game? Man, I can envision in my head. It's somewhat older now. I'm going to take it off my list. Like the graphics are good, but it looks kind of like a mobile game because of the top-down thing. No, I know. Like trying to look through your wish list, it's like 500 fucking games. Man, I wish I could. No, it's not that one. There was also another game too that recently kind of had it. Your wish list is like 2 things? Wow. How do you do it? You just buy all the games? I spend thousands and thousands of dollars on video games is the answer to that. Man, I wish I could remember the name. I might have taken it off my wish list, though, because it was depressing me. Oh, well. There's no point. But yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Like, top-down is actually quite strange looking. And, I have... I pay for these assets, and I was actually thinking about it, like, today. They're for, like, D&D. For, like... tabletop D&D, but like I know it is very bright. So it's for like tabletop D&D, and it has like, so it's like for what do they call those things? A virtual tabletop. So that's top down. You know, it's like he's got a bear skin on his head. So all those, and those look okay. And when they work well when you're playing, because, you know, if you're playing a virtual tabletop, you need to know like the direction they're facing usually, not always, but the direction you're facing, they got to fit on a grid, you know, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So like they can't be the like where they're laying down, you know, the 3D isometric or whatever, because then they would be in someone else's grid and you're standing next to each other. So yeah. And I was actually thinking, I've been paying this for like 3 years, like $5 a month. They made so much money on me, I should stop. Yeah, I can't remember what that game is called. I was hoping it'd be like somehow right here, but no luck. I might have, like I said, taken them off. Yeah, it looked very strange because they wanted. So the problem was with this game is they wanted to show. So the artist took all this time, obviously, drawing these things. And if you look at like one of these as an example, you can't see the person's face, and they wanted to show the person's face, so they have it just their face tilted back. And so it looks like everyone's walking around in the game like this, and it looks dumb. And I felt, you know, I feel bad for the person who took so much time because you could see what the problem was. Yeah, I'll never remember the name of the thing. If it pops in my head later, we'll come back to it, but I don't think it will. I was hoping, like I said, it was right here. There's that other game, too, that... God, what is the name of that game? This is like on a somewhat similar... This one I bought. So what's it called? It's called... I think it starts with an S. Look how shitty my Steam is. This game was really disappointing too. I was so excited for it. Okay, when I say I was so excited for it, I wanted to, yeah, I hope they don't run while I'm in the middle of a stream. I can't remember anything today, ever. It's the baby head game that I don't think they thought through what they were doing either, and then they couldn't go back. God, what is that lady's name? She streamed it a bunch of times. That's why if I could remember her name, I could look up her streams. And then Catherine the Great, Catherine of Greatness. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna find Catherine. Like I said, any excuse not to work on. Oh, I don't have this. I'm on this channel. I don't have all my subscriptions. All right. Well, it's something. I feel like my YouTube stream is like really delayed. Catherine with the horse story. No. No. No, Catherine the Great? No. No, she's a streamer. And she does like Let's Plays. And it's... Oh, it almost came to me. This is a different game than the one I was originally talking about, but it almost came to me. It's Villains... but it's like villains with a V or something. It's villains and what is this order? What do we got here? It's something with a V. Villains and is it? Well, it's what? I have nothing. It's some other word. Then villains must be second. Oh, I was in soundtracks. I don't know. I don't know where it went. Maybe I don't remember exactly what it's called. She, I think that wasn't that. Then they like, wasn't that just like fake news for the time? The Catherine the Great horse story. Um, God, what was the name of that game? All right. Well, we won't sit here while I try to remember shit. This seems like this has a weird filter on it. Oh, it does have a weird filter. It's like organized by turn-based and stuff. So that's going to be hard to find anything. Yeah, I think there's another word in front of the villains. It might not even be villains. Allegedly, right? Yeah, I think they were just trashing her name, the historical figure. Villains and Lords and Villains, that's what it's called. See, that's probably my video. That is my video. Lords and Villains. It's mostly positive. Right, exactly. So this is the problem with the graphics in this game. Let's see if we can... And so it has other problems too, but so they went with this thing where they had all the characters have giant heads. And what happens is they look like baby heads. And so it looks like your colony is filled with babies. And I know what you're thinking, like, that's not that bad. It kind of gets weird late. Like, the longer you play it, the worse it got for me. At the beginning, I didn't really have that big of a problem with it. But the more, and you can put like a bow, like you can customize your people's heads. And so, like, this bald guy right here, you can barely see this, but let's say that, like, one of the hats he can wear is like a bow. So it even looks like more like a baby. You know how, like, they put a pink bow on a baby's head, you know? It's so like kind of like this. So the whole problem is that it like this is a baby's head. And the other thing with it that's strange is the ticks in the game. Some of the ticks in the game are so quickly done that your characters can't walk from one side of the map without to the other side without a day passing. But it's not like that's like wouldn't be a big deal if that was planned, but it was unplanned. So they have like it causes all these issues that the maps. So you have to play either a small map or you have to change to change the settings to make it work. And it's one of those things where they should have bailed. Like they should have changed. They needed to have fixed that originally. That's why it has like mixed reviews. I don't think the baby head thing is anyone else has a problem with that but me. If you can get it for cheap, it's probably worth checking out because it actually has some really interesting for a colony game. It has very interesting ways of doing things. Like you're actually a lord of the land, so you can set up the laws the way that a lord of the land would, where you have like peasant farmers and shit. But it also has this other problem with when you destroy stuff, when you destroy a building, you get all of the resources back, which I know that seems strange, but it actually turns out to be bad. Like it's so you stop needing. It's just it's weirdly unbalanced, and maybe they've fixed it since then. But I think I remember them kind of giving up on it. But what the fuck do I know? All right, what are we doing here? So we have if we put in a population data, it looks like it goes through, it generates an equipment list, whatever that is. If the use news is set to false, then it picks the lowest level equipment. So what we need to do, though, so this adjusts so this takes the amount out. What we want to do is we want the subordinates to equip the same thing, to try to equip the same with the same equipment that the hero, that the person that they're subordinate to, that we want them to try to equip that. But if they don't have enough, then they equip whatever else they have, or nothing. I'm thinking if we pass in a bool right here, if we go bool, use newest equipment. I don't want this false crap in here. And then we get rid of this. What is your problem? You probably don't like that. Oh, well, that can be fixed. Are we using that anywhere else? Okay, so we should get an error now. Give me my error. What's going on here? We should get an error on where we use this. Equip heroes should not work. Right here. So then we do a comma, and we go population data dot use newest equipment. So this is going to pass in this hero, but then we need to do this again with all of the heroes. So this is, or with all of the subordinates. So we're going to equip this, and then we're going to go for each, I don't know, that doesn't work. Like I said, for each population data, subordinate in population data dot subordinates, and then we'll go equip, and then we're gonna leave this actually the same. So what we want to do is we want the hero, it's what the hero has checked, not what the player, or not what the subordinate has checked, because we're going to try to do it to that. And then this, though, should be subordinate, I think. So we're going to equip this on them. And then under here, we'll make a copy. And then actually we'll put this here. And then we'll KD this shit. And then we'll put subordinate. We'll go like this. If subordinate activity is equal to activities. Oh yeah, I was going to tell this story. I forgot about this. Service. I was working on my other, it's not really a game, but it's basically like it's the basics of it's the basics of multiplayer, just to like familiarize myself with how it works, etc., etc., etc. And it had this flag. I was like working away, and I was like, oh, I need an enum for this shit. Because so I needed an enum for connection status. So like when it connects, I needed to know, like it needed to return like it actually wasn't connection status. After it connected, if the person put in their password, was the password wrong? Was the user wrong? Was the does the user exist? So there's three different things. So I needed an enum, and I had this memory flash in my mind, which back when I first started working on learning how to program, I think his name was like Dapper Dino or something. He's actually the reason why I learned how to use a getter setter, was because he kept talking about it. And I was like, what the fuck is a getter setter? He was calling properties though. He's like, use a property here. And he didn't explain anything at all about what that meant or what it was. And so then I had to like go figure it out on my own. But he kept saying, I think it was him, and he kept saying, and it was for his multiplayer thing. He kept saying, the enum tells this thing. The enum tells this, and the enum tells that. And I was like, what the fuck is an enum? And how is it telling, you know, because he would have it, he would show the enum. He would be like, this enum tells this thing. And I'm like, how is it telling anything? Anything? And, you know, this is before I knew how to use enums or what they really were. And I was so, like, I thought they were these, like, extremely powerful built-in C# things where they actually did stuff. You know what I mean? Like, where they actually, like, were, like, a method or something. And I was so confused, and I was trying to, like, figure out how does it tell? And so then back to, like, this week where I was working away on this thing, and I was like, I need to tell this other part of the program that this is a wrong password. But the memory, like, popped back in my head. I was like, oh my God, this is exactly what he was saying. He was saying it's telling it, but it's not actually doing it. It's just sending a fucking int. But it's telling it, and a human can read that shit. Oh, man. Like, the amount of things you don't know. Then this, what is this thing? Inventory VBox, we wanted to equip heroes, comma, population data, use newest equipment. This is so when you're looking at, oh, this is every time the subordinates thing runs. But what is this going to do? It will equip them as well. So if the player's fucking with shit, that's what that's doing. But we have this inside, right? That's what I just did? No. What's going on here? Where did I just put that code? Because it's not right here. Oh, we have it run again in a separate spot. Oh. Okay, so that might not work how we want it to. Unless we... I guess we'll do it separately. Yeah, I guess we'll do it separately. It's not the end of the world. Where was that shit? Inventory subordinate. So what we would do here... Oh, it kind of sucks, though. But it's required. I guess we'll just do it here, too. I was thinking maybe we could shove it inside this equip heroes. Maybe we can. Actually, I think we can. Where was that shit? That's why I always trying to give you suggestions. Is because, like, maybe, you know, if I want something, then maybe other people do, too. And it must be hard to think of stuff after. How long have you been doing this for? How many years? Let me skip this song that you guys can't hear. Yeah, there's the Lords and Villains guys. I feel bad for him because that game is, like I said, it has some unusual shit in it that's good. The baby head thing just fucking really kills it for me. I know you're like, man, it's not that big of a deal. Why are you fucking crying about it? Where the hell was that equip thing? That's a rhetorical question, by the way. I found it so easily earlier. Usages. Yeah, we'll put this inside. We'll put this inside the equip heroes. Just so we don't have to call it multiple times. You know, I've seen some in every two weeks, so it's like what, 152. How do you do math? 3 years, 150? Yeah. I remember there were some comments about, like, they liked your really long ones. You should do like a crazy long one, like a 6-hour one. Okay, so what we should put this thing. The problem is you'd have to edit it too. I guess you wouldn't have to, but equip heroes. We have a county data. I don't know why we have a county data. Oh, we need the county data for the generate. Oh shit, this has an equip heroes in it though, doesn't it? It does. Okay, so probably what we don't want to do this because otherwise it's like an endless loop. It'll just forever. I think what we're going to want to do is what we could do actually is write another method. Yeah, I think this will be the easiest way. This is going to be public static void equip heroes and subordinates one day. We'll pass in, what do we need in this shit? Population data and a bool. No, we don't. We don't need that. Yeah, we just need a population data, I think. Because we're going to put in both. We're going to put in both this. This will be private. And then maybe. I think we are going to have to pass in the bool. So we're going to do this, and then we're also going to do this. Equip heroes. Let's see if my thought process here works. Yeah, because we just use the population data for this one and this one. So it should... We don't need this quartermaster in here. And we should probably equip population is what this should say. Population. Inconsistent changes. Okay, so this is going to equip both of them. And then this is going to equip them again. Each subordinate. There's the one hero. We're going to pass it. We're going to run this and pass it into each hero. Okay, this is going. Let's put this at the top, actually. In that multiplayer thing I was just talking about, everything is so fucking disorganized. I can never find anything. I need to go, like, the order is crazy. Yeah, the whole thing is. All right, so then we need to go to where we're getting these errors, and we're going to get rid of this, and then we'll go equip heroes. Come on, fingers. This thing we can get out of here. Back to the quartermaster. And then we'll do this. Whoops. Right? Like, I don't know why that happens. So, like, I don't know. Sometimes they just don't want to fucking cooperate. Then we need to go back to here. And we're going to do this to be equip population. And then we'll get rid of this. Yeah, I guess we never needed to pass that in because we could have just used it. What's your fucking problem? Equip population. No. Yeah. Equip heroes and subordinates. Populate hero equipment. Okay, I was like, wait, can we get rid of that? No. All right, what are my other bugs? It's just those two? We did all that work for nothing? For just two things? Alright, there's some catastrophic bug I probably just wrote. So let's rerun this and then see what this catastrophic bug is that I just created. And then I'm going to take a quick break. Okay, we got to keep an eye on the thing down here. Let's test this without adding any subordinates, because we do have it like trying to for each through a list that is going to be empty, which should be fine. It should just do nothing. All right, so we have nothing there because we don't have any equipment. Okay, I just wanted some time to pass. So now we have canned food. You know, there's... It's the little things I always forget about. What happens if we don't want them to have any equipment? All right, well, that's not an option. They always have to have equipment. So this is working. We're getting the canned foods. We're going to do this. We're going to speed this back up. We need some... They recruited Christopher Perez there. And then we recruited one more person. Deborah Diaz. And we have two unrecruited. So let's double check this, make sure they don't have equipment. Okay, we can't even see their equipment. We're just going to assume it worked. And we're also just going to assume that this is going to take... Oh, look at that. One went away. I wonder if it equipped the person. None. Nothing. Stingo Inks, how's it going? I don't know if we ate that food or what happened there. I don't know if this is working. We're not getting any bugs. Christopher, you don't have anything equipped. What happens if I check this, Christopher? You still don't have anything equipped. I have a feeling this is not working. Do we have any canned goods? We have 8 canned food. Leftover Chinese is always good, right? It's. I don't think this is working because they're not showing any equipment. So what has gone wrong here? This is in our quartermaster equipped population. We didn't get any bugs though. I would prefer to get bugs than not to get bugs if things aren't working. So how does this work? Oh, you know, we had, look at this, 5,000 things already in there. Number of subordinates wanted, 0 subordinates. Let's see if we had any. Good fish is already equipped. Is there a reason why you're equipping fish? Did we put fish somewhere? It's a medical skill. It's putting the fish on their back or something. I don't know. It's a medical equipment. So okay, that's fine. Well, it's for testing. Nagetsu. 2D4X is a 2D4X video game that I'm working on. Open source. It's inspired by like Dominions and Dominions 5, and Paradox Games. And right now we're trying to add this feature, but part of the feature needs for the Omega 3s. Yeah, right. Part of the feature needs the subordinates here to be equipped, but they're not getting it. And actually, I don't know. I'm thinking that maybe it's that none thing we set up, where it sets it to none. Earlier, because that worked too well. I'm thinking, because this thing is actually saying they're getting equipped. What are these people's names? What are these people's names? Christopher and Deborah. Christopher, Deborah. It looks like Deborah was doing some work. She should stop generating scavenged food, though. I wonder if if there's two Deborah Williams. Oh yeah, no, she's Deborah Diaz. Deborah is currently is recruited. It says she's getting equipped. It doesn't say with what she's getting equipped with because it's the full. Yeah, I think it might be this none thing. Let's find that. What did I do wrong here? Populate hero equipment. Change all inventory items to none. So this should change them all to none, but then after this, if is hero or populate, shut the fuck. Oh no, it's right. I was about to be like, no, it's not, but it was right. This is the problem. All right, I got to take a quick break though. Hopefully this will be less than 5 minutes. I got to go to the bathroom really bad. All right, I'll be right back. Yeah, I knew I wouldn't be back in less than 5 minutes. I had ice cream last night. I had a lot of ice cream last night. That happens when I have ice cream. That's why there's a towel sitting behind me on this chair, and you can kind of see it right here. I have a towel. I put a towel in my right hand, and then the carton of ice cream, and then I just shovel it into my face. You need the towel because it's cold and wet, and you're gonna be shoveling ice cream in your face. Okay, so this is, I think that's what we needed. Like your soul. Yes. What's going on over here with this number just sitting there? That max number. All right. So how are we going to test this? We got to recruit 2 people. We got to do this. Okay. We are good to go there. These people are recruited, but we actually need to see if they're in service. Them not showing if they're in service or not is bad. Also, it really, this little thing on my headset is, I think it's on its last leg. I was about to say it sounded quieter in one ear. All right, you're in service, so let's see. You have canned food. Is there enough canned food for you? How the fuck would we know? Because it says 0 now. So we must have had enough canned food. I just had a thought where this might not work. Well, it doesn't matter, actually. Yeah, well, the problem. It's really easy to mute myself with this stupid thing too. I want to get a cordless one. I've said this like so many. I've whined about this so many times. But the cordless ones don't have the side tone, which is the name of the thing where you can hear yourself talk. And so I just end up shouting like an old person. Okay, so you're still in the recruit phase. Let's hope that you are now out, Rebecca. And you got canned food. And we have some canned. So I think that's working. I think we did it. For real. I think we actually did it. We closed this one. Okay, so all we have to do is add scouting equipment bonus to exploration, and then we're back to actually making events. I think I'm gonna move this to the next round. I just don't want to do that. Maybe I'll put it back, and I'll have a different thought tomorrow. But we're so close to finishing this exploration part, which is kind of awesome. Oh no, we're not. we got a bunch of story events that are going to be cause chaos. But let's do this scouting equipment thing first, and then where was that? I think I put a to-do. There's like a to-do thing on here. Where's my to-do list? There it is. 16 to-dos. Add perk bonuses. That's not what we want. Test the timestamp works. What? Perk bonuses. We have a lot of perk bonuses in here. Add scouting equipment bonus. Here we go. We want to go to this thing. This to-do thing's awesome. I don't remember who I was watching that typed that in, and I was like, what is that great thing? Okay, so how this works is every time the exploration runs, it gets all these different bonuses, and we have a subordinate bonus, which is the subordinate thing. But so let's start with that because we'll go up, like kind of up there. They needed an additional bonus for their equipment. So how are we going to do this? So we need to go, actually it shouldn't be that difficult. Let's look at the scouting equipment. Equipment data. Why is there 2 amounts? What the fuck is this? We have 2 maximum amounts too. What is the meaning of that? We need to look at this. Is it not called equipment data? What the fuck is it called? equipment data. Where's our canned goods? What was I just looking at that had duplicate? Oh, it was in the good data. Do we have good data up? No, of course not. We're gonna open more shit. Good data. Oh, one's the getter setter. Okay. And I put export on it because we need to save these to disk. I got a JSON. Stinklewinks. Look at this JSON. It's not for this game. You're like, I don't care. Cool, dude. Look at this. I got some JSONs in here. Look at these things. These are the users with my JSONs in them. Yeah, whatever. Who cares? There we go. That was it. Yeah, I'm using JSONs to save the data instead of a resource thing. And it might be that we have to do that actually for this game too. I hope not, because it gets kind of weird. I'd rather use the built-in Godot stuff. Like I'm really trying. I'm trying hard. Well, oops, I closed Rider. I'm trying really hard to use the built-in Godot stuff for everything, because you would assume that they have done tests and things instead of Frankensteining stuff together. All right, what the fuck are we doing here? So that's why there's two of these, is because one's the getter setter. I guess I'm just gonna ignore it for now, but at some point we gotta figure out when it saves it. It probably only needs to save the privates. Yeah, it does. Because it's returning the private. I'm gonna get rid of this. Oh, except am I typing shit in there? No, I don't think. Okay, we'll put a note on here. We'll add an item here. Export on getter setters. If we are saving the data with the resource saver, then we probably don't need the export on the public part of the getter setter. Yeah, this thing is pretty out of control, this project, and in almost a good way though. Let's double check some stuff here. All right, let's see. Okay, so add scouting equipment bonus. Let's not try to get too sidetracked here. So that was here, get subordinate bonus. So what we want to do for this, do we have this built into like equipment data? We don't have shit in equipment data. So we just have the tier and the equipment type. So we need to add in another thing here that gives it where we get the, I don't know why this happens sometimes, but like traditional skinhead music starts just coming up instead of like punk rock, and it just gets, some of it's really bad. But I know you guys can hear it. What we need to do here is put the bonus for this equipment. So we'll do export, except we need a capital. And this will be public int equipment bonus and we'll just do that. And then we'll save this. We'll go back over to here, and we need to go into our goods, and like canned goods as our test here. Oh, we gotta build this shit. And we'll say 5. And then hopefully this is a unique thing. I think it must be. I don't remember how we put these in here, but let's have primitive scouting equipment here. We'll put this 5. Yeah, see, these are different, so it's good. All right. So actually, we're saying 5 for this. Canned goods is going to be 25, we'll say. We could actually do it by tier. Honestly, we could multiply the tier, but let's just manually type this shit in for now. Okay, so we have the bonus for that, and then we're going to go back to our Explorer. We're in the subordinate thing. We need to have it should probably, do we want to put it in equipment data? This is a resource. Can we do a public static and I can't get equipment bonus. Method must have a return type. Oh, public. It's actually gonna be an int. Public static. Wait, what? Int? No, int goes on the other side. Oh, guess not. And we're gonna return an int. We're gonna pass in. I don't know if this should be in the quartermaster here, but we'll do it here. We're gonna pass in all enums. That's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna do this. Oh, we got an extra one down here. No, it shouldn't be in here. It shouldn't be in here because this doesn't have where we need it. It actually should be in population data probably, but we'll put it in the quartermaster. We'll put it down at the bottom here. The quartermaster will deal with this shit. So then we're going to need a population. We're going to need get the fuck out of here. We're going to need a population data because this is the person we're going to look at. And then we're going to, why are you mad? What is your problem? Why are you all glowy? Yeah, we know. Oh, okay. There's no return statement. All right, that's fine. I feel like int is on the wrong side. No, I guess not. Like of static. So what we're going to do is we're going to go, how is this equipment stored on our population data? I assume it's like an array or a dictionary or something. I think it's an array. Yeah, it's an array of good data. And I think so it should correspond with the, so we should be able to go, can we just do this? Let's see here. Return population, you piece of shit. Population data, equipment. Get correct equipment slot. What is this? What is this thing? Oh, because because we have a none in there. Wait, is that what the problem is? I wish I had put a summary in here, right? Like, why didn't I put a summary in here? I think it's because there's a none in... No, where is it? Yeah, so if you put in like a 5, it's going to be off 1. So this is going to be a 1. What are we using this thing for? Now I'm in some other terrible... Population data equipment. All enums get correct equipment. Good to equip. What the fuck is this thing for? I believe things are off by 1 because of none. I can't remember. Update this when you figure it out, Josh. There we go. I'm Josh, by the way. There's no, like, person I'm telling that to. Okay, so we want to return this equipment data dot equipment bonus. So I think what this will do is this will return the correct equipment slot and the bonus that they have. That's the goal. So we'll copy this thing, and we'll go back up on the quartermaster here. And we'll go to the subordinate thing. This has been annoying me this whole stream. This commented out garbage there. Where the fuck is this equip subordinates garbage? It's not even there. We're in the wrong spot. Here we go. So this, we're going to put in subordinate. What was the other part? Comma, we needed to know their equipment type. Josh 1, Josh 2, because all these comments are written for you. I don't understand. Josh 1, Josh 2, they're both me. You know, one of my coworkers is he actually just quit, but he's a junior and he always would put his name 2. What are we doing here? Equipment type. All enums, all equipment type. What the fuck? All enums, equipment type. Dot. Reconnaissance. What is your fucking problem? Oh yeah, that makes sense. Quartermaster. I thought of a word. Guys, you gotta remind me later, like in 6 months. So when we made I use primitive scouting equipment, and I think the one that should be before primitive scouting equipment should be improvised scouting equipment. Present Josh deals it now. Future Josh deals it later. And past Josh fucked it all up and caused both of the other problems. So there needs to be like a like more scientific, but also like sci-fi name for that instead of like Josh 1, Josh 2. It should, you know, like how they, what is that? In The Good Place, they like have fake Eleanor and real Eleanor, but we need something like that, but like pre-destiny Josh, post-destination. I don't, you know what I'm saying. Okay, so what is this thing? You know, we have a skill called Scout, and then we have their equipment's called Reconnaissance. The skill should probably be Reconnaissance. Let's not worry about it. Okay, so this should get this bonus and add it in here. We should GD print. We're going to throw a $sign in here. Reconnaissance bonus. Reconnaissance equipment bonus for subordinate. That's not subordinate. Get full name. Present, yeah. Bonus? That's, that's uh, um, that's how you say it, right? Then we're going to go this thing. We're going to put this in here. Except we got a thing there. All right. Then we're going to copy this whole thing. And we're going to stick this also here. But we're going to plus stop. We're going to put the population data here. I don't know why it wants to put that there. We don't have a we're calling you hero. All right. We're putting the hero in here. And then this will also be hero. And this will also be hero. I kind of like that these are showing that they're wrong. Okay, so now we have this bonus plus this bonus is the additional bonus. So this empty statement is redundant. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Let's put this here. Yeah. Empty statement is redundant. Oh, you don't want the perk is 0? What do you want? To constant. I don't want that. Add a perk of some sort. Yeah, we do need another perk. We should put this in the to-do. You know what we should do is have this in here. We'll have 2. Go back. Yeah, go back. We'll have another to-do. There we go. What are we doing here? So I don't care about this empty statement is redundant. It says it's here, though. Oh, do I have a thing? Oh, I see. We got a little thing back there. It was hidden. It was hidden in the back. All right. I guess we got to test this somehow. A unit test. So somebody, I was watching, I think it was Crystal Mess. He had unit tests, but then he also had another test. He was like, I don't want to do a unit test. I want to do a blah blah test. And I was like, what is that? So we need to get these guys some canned goods. So let's do, well, it actually doesn't matter. It's going to be the only thing that they can equip. And they should scavenge up, yeah, so like scavenge up enough canned goods for these people to have canned goods. So now we need to have reconnaissance, we'll keep this in the, here. And then we need to go back over to here. And we need to put you on explore. Did you already recruit those people? Day 3, yeah. And then we need to see, we got bugs. It's probably saying this isn't right or something. I'm trying to read that there, boss. Copy error. Try to make it a little bigger so that you guys can read it. Get equipment and bonus. Populate data. Get ret not set to an object. What did we pass in here? Get equipment bonus. Equipment type reconnaissance. It's returning null. So like right now they don't, like somebody doesn't have, it's passing in the hero, but this is returning in null, so it's croaking because they don't have anything there. So there's nothing in that slot. So what do we do with this here? Go back to your quartermaster. We need to go, or if, okay, we're gonna not be able to do this. It's cool. I thought like this looks great. I love this, but it's not working how we want. If, I wonder why we had to do it, get correct equipment slot. What is that? I don't remember why. It said -1, so we were, I think it has to do with the none. Because there's no none equipment slot. Is that what it is? I think it is. Equipment type? What are we passing into this get correct equipment slot? Well, let's look at this again. Why didn't I put equipment type? Why didn't I put... Oh, it's not. Okay, wait. We don't need to use this. This is for, so it is because of the none. Let's put this in here. So that when the slots are supposed to match up, but they're off by 1 because there's an equipment type of none, but there's no equipment slot of none. So it needs to, yeah. So this is, this makes it so that since there is no equipment slot of none, but there is an equipment slot for all the other equipment types, we need to remove 1, subtract 1 from the equipment slot, I think. From the equipment type. All right, so I think that's what that does, but we don't need that right now, actually. What we need, because the equipment type, we're getting it from their equipment. No, we do need to do this, but the thing is they have none in there, so it's trying to get to -1. So if equipment, yeah, reconnaissance is 1. And it should be because the equipment slot is 0. But there's nothing in here. This is empty, is what this is. If equipment is not equal to null, then we set, we're gonna have to like put it int here or something. We'll put it up here. Int equipment bonus. And then we go equipment bonus equals. And then we go equipment bonus. So I did when I was working on this other game, when I was talking about the multiplayer, I used ChatGPT a lot, and I was thinking about that right now because I just typed this in and it was kind of annoying. Like, it's the tedious stuff that I don't like in programming. This was not that tedious, obviously. It was very minuscule amount of tediousness, but there is a lot of tediousness. And so you can get ChatGPT to do a lot of stuff with that. Just do it for you. But I was using ChatGPT a ton for that multiplayer project, and at the beginning I was like, holy fuck, ChatGPT is doing so good with this. I cannot believe that this is so easy to get this multiplayer where there's a server and a client that's headless. So I made my server headless, so it can't have graphics, like this, because I want to run it on a Linux box that's cheap, and I don't want to have a graphical user interface. So I was like it was pretty awesome, honestly, and I was just like, wow, this is some impressive shit. And then I went on that vacation, and I came back, and I tried to do something I hadn't done in the game, which was I registered a user and then immediately tried to log in the user, and it failed. And I asked ChatGPT like what the problem was, and because it had been doing so well up to that point. And obviously, because 2 weeks had passed, or like a week had passed, it forgot everything. And so it was completely confused, which I was expecting that. But then it pointed out that my code didn't work at all. It was all bullshit. So basically what it was doing is the client and the server were not communicating all the time. The client often was reading from the password file when the server should never happen. The client should not have access to the password file, but we're running it on the same computer. And I also went through this big ordeal where I could have a bool in it, and I could say, hey, this is on a testing computer, and then when I turn that bool off, it would work with where it saves the password file. Well, that minor problem of it was reading the password file from two different things and it wasn't doing this way just imploded all of the code. ChatGPT could not fucking figure it out. I would fix stuff. I would tell it, like, look, this is fixed. How do we do the next part? And it would get so confused. It was dumb as shit. And this is like, I probably spent 3 hours over, I know 3 hours is not that much, but 3 hours over, 3 days and 2 weeks, because I don't do that much programming offline. But it just got worse and worse and worse, and it got dumber and dumber, and it would forget and remember, and it even said like, hey, I'm remembering this new thing, and it wouldn't remember that. And so in my 3 hours of, so I was thinking about this as if you were like a junior programmer. Like, let's say I was hired to do the junior programming of setting up a login page for the game while someone else was working on the actual game, And so in this hypothetical situation, they would hire me, and they'd already fired the real junior programmer, and they were like, we're going to hire this guy for cheaper, and he's going to use ChatGPT to do this job. And there's no fucking way. There's no way that you would get your money's worth. So it took me 3 hours of fumbling around. And I actually, Munglo, he comes into chat sometimes. I looked at his code too, just to see, like, as a baseline, because he already has multiplayer working. So occasionally I would glance at his and be like, oh, okay, I get that this RPC thing needs to be like this. So I also had that as a resource too. And other things. I didn't watch any tutorials. I started to load one up, but I kind of like to fumble through it because I figure out like how things work that way. Like I go, oh, okay, so this authority thing means this or whatever. And then the other thing it would often do is it would unwrite the code that we'd already fixed. So it would like say, no, here you go, here's the new thing. And I'd be like, oh wow, it worked. And then I would look at the code, because I would copy and paste the whole thing. And then I'd look at the code and it had undone things. I also said, because I wanted the password encrypted on the server. So one of the things in IT that, happens all the time is that you hear like these password, people get into a server, they pull the password file and it's plain text. And then they have this pair of like the email and the password, and they just keep trying all the different sites until they get into your account, right? And that's like a huge security risk. So, obviously we want to encrypt the passwords, even though they can do like a dictionary attack or whatever, try to unencrypt it, whatever. But I was thinking about that more, and I was trying to get it more secure. Like, what if someone was in the server? And so, like, what if someone had actually breached the server, so they're already on the server, they're going to be able to get everyone's username, they're going to be able to, we looked at the JSON briefly there, because that actually is like my test thing. This is a real test thing. Here's the hashed password, they would have access to this, so they could do like a dictionary attack against that and stuff. And so I was like, what if we encrypted it more? Like, what about man in the middle attacks and stuff? So I'm asking ChatGPT all these questions, and I'm trying to, you encrypt more things, make it better. And it's like, yeah, what you gotta do if you want to encrypt all this stuff is include the private key into the code. So it'd be hard coded in somewhere as a variable. And I was like, are you fucking stupid? You can't give out your private key. And it's like, yeah, well, I mean, if you compiled it, it would be part of the code that you would be giving out. And so you'd have to break your project into two separate things. So I talked to ChatGPT for a long time, and at the very end, I was like, this sounds like it's all pointless. And it's like, yeah, it's pointless. And so but I don't trust it at that point. And like, so it's just these wasted time that a junior developer, once again, if I was talking to a human, and I actually asked one of my friends during this process, I said, is this really, who's a full stack developer? I said, is this really the best way? And he's like, absolutely fuck no. And he's like, yeah, well, you would store your private key on the server. And that's what I knew where I was going. I knew that this is where ChatGPT would go. It'd be like, store the private key on a server. And I'm like, if they're already into the server, they can get the fucking private key right there. So anyway, whatever. If I was hired, remember, in this hypothetical situation, I've been hired to be like the ChatGPT jockey. And so I have very limited development skills, and I'm going to use ChatGPT because I've replaced the higher paid junior developer. There's no way that you would save money with that. And there's no way that you would come out with a product that would be good, because so I have it working. I actually got it to work after all, and I have all these tests in there to like make sure that it's the server versus whatever, and I'm pretty sure it's working. There's probably something fucked up in there, but remember, the original hypothetical also is that I'm going to turn this code over to a better developer who's going to use the login code to attach it to the front of his game. That shit is so ugly and busted and fucking just out of control. Oh my god, the guy would rewrite the whole thing. The head developer, who can't be replaced by ChatGPT, supposedly, in this hypothetical story, he's just gonna rewrite the whole thing. He's gonna work overtime. He's probably a salary guy. He's gonna like take that garbage, throw it all out, and just redo it, because it would take him a couple of hours to get it perfect instead of this dog shit code that I would have given him. And I like my opinion of ChatGPT fucking, there's no way. I'm back to, I keep flip-flopping like, oh yeah, we're going to lose some jobs or whatever. We will lose some jobs, but it's going to very severely affect the quality of the development that's coming out. I totally think that, you always hear all these people like, yeah, we're going to get rid of 1,000 people and replace them with ChatGPT. It's not going to fucking work, man. It's not going to work. At this point, it felt like a scam. I'm not even joking. I was like, this feels like a fucking scam. That there's nothing going on here. And they said during this process, like I said, they said that they updated the memory thing. That did not work. The memory thing did not work. It just, yeah. Okay, what the fuck are we doing? We gotta equip something. We're gonna throw in some stuff here. We're gonna we gotta recruit first. When this recruiting is done, we're gonna throw you onto explore. Oh, you found something. We didn't get any bugs. So the equipment bonus for Rachel and Kathleen is 0. So is that, whoa. I control X'd and everything. Okay, no, that was good because I cut it. Kathleen. So I'm going to bet here, I can't look at it while this is on. We're going to collect the remnants and hit pause here. I'm going to bet Kathleen and them don't have, oh no, they have canned food now. So why would that be 0? Okay, so maybe they were not quite, now enough time has passed. What time is it? 6 o'clock. That thing pops up. Yeah, they must not have been equipped. Yeah, so Kathleen was equipped after that. Glad I put that in there. So we'll let another day go past. And then let's see. What time is it? 11. I think it should. I don't think this is working. Let's see if another, because she should have, oh, what happened to the other? Was it 1? I thought I had 2 people hired. She definitely says she has. Kathleen. What's going on here? Did I turn that off? Or did something turn that off? Okay, now we're out of things for them to search, but... Okay, so I think this worked. This is kind of concerning. See, this is the problem. Why can't it be search, man? This is going to be those ones that it's kind of hard to test. I mean, it wouldn't be that hard, but we would want to test it for a long period of time. Like, to see how unreliable it is. Look at that. Nobody's working here at Harney. I wonder what happened there. That might be by, like, it just got finished or something. Like, people are idle. People are starving. Douglas is generating no food. I'm not going to look at that right now. So I think we're just going to have to trust that this is working. I did see that there's no, because they could have been on a service. Except I just thought of something here. Let's see. So if this is, if you null a bonus, if this is null, Random Raccoon, how's it going? The Douglas is the name of the county, though. I think. Yeah. I was like, wait, is my memory going? How's your game? Your game was looking pretty awesome the other day. I don't remember what day that was. Oh yeah, the Hex Day where we raided you. I forgot. That was last weekend. It's looking good. Nice. When's release date? Do you have to do the beautification process? That's what I call it. Which I have not done. Where you have to like beautify everything. Obviously, I've not done that. Okay, let's see here. So I think that's working. So we are. Let's let it run for a second, though. Actually, let's restart it, and we'll let it run. We'll move the person around and stuff. Because I don't think we've done that. I don't even want to do this because there's going to probably be some problem. Yeah, let's recruit a couple of people. I swear I put 2 before and then it jumped to 1. Okay, so there are definitely 2 people. Another Kathleen. Then we're going to search here and we'll look for reconnaissance here. Reconnaissance. Networking, yeah, I was just talking about how, well, I don't think ChatGPT is going to replace developers and do a good job, basically. Long story short, I think people will be wasting money. It'll be a catastrophic failure. So that should be the last one, and it did turn this off. Let's see what our bonuses are. We're getting bonuses. What's the name of this hero? Andrew, Diane, Kathleen. All of our bonuses are there, except the beginning, which is what we would expect because they didn't have any. So that looks right. So let's move them to a new spot. Let's spawn you, go over here, go to Wasco. Oh, there's that stupid stutter. We'll have to fix that at some point. Let's put you on Explore. Let's unpause it and just look for bugs here. I think, well, there's only, oh, look, this is the thing that this is as far as we were before we ran into all those other, oh, like over and over and over again. So you know what's crazy about that? If that's how it works, you probably have experienced this, but I didn't know that this is how it worked. The first time I did a randomly generated map, a hex map, so the randomly generated hex map needed it so that the player can get from one side to the other. Like it can't randomly generate and block the path, right? Like block it so that there's no way for them to get from the start to the end. So I was like, I actually worked with ChatGPT for this too. And it's like, yeah, you got a pathfinder there, and then we just keep regenerating the fucking map over and over again until we get one that works. And I was like, what? That's really how that works? So that sounds like it's like we're back to like me, like I'm the one running the show with the AI there. We're done exploring. Well, every test is passed here, so that's good. What's the thing? So I also mentioned this. I'm glad you dropped by, Claire. There's a unit test, and then there's some other type of test that Crystal Mess was talking about. Do you know what I'm talking about? There's a unit test, and then some sort of other. Check per node, yeah. So I think that's probably because what we were talking about, end to end. That sounds maybe like what he was talking about. So we were talking about tile map layers, and they generate so fast. This is actually, so in the test that or in the generation of my pathfinding thing, or my hex map, I'm looking up in the air because I'm trying to remember. I don't think it's actually like physically creating the hex map. I think it's doing it with the array of hexes, and then it tests. But it could be. But anyways, with tile map generation, it's so fast, it was fine. But I want my maps to be a lot larger. The first ones are like small, and as you get farther along, the maps get larger and larger. And I think that will be a problem. So maybe I'll have to do that, like where it just tests the path and just blows away. Anything on the path, just delete them. Not delete it, but delete whatever the fuck's blocking it. Even though we wouldn't want it to be a straight line. Yeah, so that's the thing, is the guaranteed path needs to be randomly basically created. So it's not a straight line. We want it to be like a path through the mountains or whatever, like a tunnel. And then generate the stuff. Or you could, whatever. All right, so what we need to do now is to add some more events. And this is perfect. This is a perfect spot for me to take another break. Perfect time. And so let's actually pull up what events we had. We only have like 2 of them. I mean, here they are right here. It's like one per, and we were having like this. This is the first one where we did nothing, and that's when that caused some other issues. And then I remembered we wanted to do other things, and so each new thing that we add is going to cause more complications, and we're going to expand how the events work. So like some of this will be like really simple, and then other ones are going to be quite like we're going to have to rewrite a ton of code. Um, so yeah, let me take a quick break, and then I will be back in less than 5 minutes. Let me pause the music you guys can't hear. And all right, I'll be right back. All right, so I am back. Yeah, back to the chat GPT being shitty. The pathfinding was a similar experience. We were just forget and be dumb. Let me start my music you guys can't hear. I mean, I know there's some that are built for code, GitHub's thing, whatever it is, Copilot. You know, we bought some licenses for Copilot at my work for stuff, and everyone kept saying like, this is all you get for like meeting summaries and things. Yeah, I think the whole thing's dog shit. They got years of work before we're all fired. I like how that one guy, there was some dude's like, no, there will never be UBI, and it's like, yeah, dude. Good luck with that. When we're eating dogs, there's going to be UBI. That's just how it is. All right, don't get me ranting about income inequality or whatever. All right, let's go with what we're working on here. So we need more events. So this song is extremely loud. I know you guys can't hear it. We did this do nothing one. So I think what we're going to do, let's think about this. I think we need some structure to this. This is kind of structured, but we need like, we need like a number of good ones, a number of nothing ones, a number of bad ones, right? And so we need a lot of these, and we have, if you have ideas, definitely you can put them in the comments too after this video. We want more, and we're leaving these found people and dangerous things towards the end. We're doing the easy ones first, because that's the story event's already built for easy stuff, I think. It didn't work with nothing. Works now though. But what I mean is, we don't want it to be off balance. We want to make sure we have the same types of similar number of types of things. So like desert, this is a found good, right? The equivalent in a desert is going to be found nothing. You're like, well, how is nothing good? It's because it's not bad for a desert. Like desert's going to have less stuff. You know, a plain, a swamp, and it would be better if we had all of our. We're not calling these biomes anymore. What are we calling them? Here we'll look for swamp. Swamp. Here we go. Terrains. Is there a terrain I'm missing here? I was thinking about adding lakes. Let's ask the internet. Different types of terrains. Forest hill. Canyon. Glacier. Jesus Christ. We are going to put weather in at some point. This does take place in North America. So we are going to have some Canada in there. So it will be cold. I was seeing how much of the map up north we got. We don't have any of Canada in there yet, but it still would be cold up there. I guess it's better to have all of them. In each county, which each county is this size, and we might break these into smaller ones later, but I'm worried about performance later. We'll have 3. Three of these things. So plains, what's the difference between plains and grasslands? In a plain, commonly known as flatland, is a flat expanse of land that does not change much elevation, is primarily treeless. Plains occur, okay, dominated by grass. Beach we have as coast. Glacier would be would be suck for the like to play. Cave. Cool kid facts. Here we go. Plateau, mountain, hill, desert, forest, canyon, glacier. Is this where they got that other information? Ocean, valley, river. I think I have river in here. We should just put like there's a typo. We should just put probably all these in here. We could change coast to beach. They don't have coast in this one. Or I guess this is in an alphabetical order. What's the Wikipedia thing say here? So the problem with the one major problem with enums is if you change them, it fucks them all up. It fucks everything that's already reset. There's already preset in there. We don't need like a ton. What is this? What am I in? Pinterest? What the fuck is a circuit? Dunes? A karst? Playas? A butte? Here's like a magic terrain types. Yeah, we're doing some kid stuff, some basic stuff with the what you should know when you're a kid. So I don't think we need ridge, sand, like this thing, sand. What? I get so the problem is like desert's different. Like desert has, I like oasis though actually, and I actually like lake because I was saying that I think last stream that there are gonna like some lakey lands, and if we look at this thing, there is a lake here. We could also have more terrains, but I would like to have it limited to like 3. So let's add some of these. We can just add them all. Once again, we can just add them all and then not see if we don't use them. I'm going to put this over chat here. So we're going to want let's see if we can find another list though actually. Wait. Oh, this is the whole list. I had clicked on this one. Yeah, that's too many. I don't want that many. Ocean? We probably do need ocean. So the thing that ChatGPT is generally good at is asking it stuff like this. I can't believe Pinterest. Oh, here's a paradox. What does paradox use? What game is this? Hearts of Iron 3. 3. What is RimWorld? Why is sand a forest? Did it say that? Rainforest, yeah. So like, if you really wanted to get into it, you would, and like I said, this is taking place in North America, so there would be different types of, there's jungle and forest and like how hardcore do we want to get into this? What is this? Flickr? What the fuck is Flickr? Isn't that like the photo thing? Why is it so big? 340. Oh, I know why. Sometimes I'm trying to look at a picture for work and I zoom way in to try to see it better. Let's see. Chat GPT. New chat. We're in new chat. What are the major terrains? We want to get too hardcore. Mountains. Plateaus. Wait. What? Let's look at the Colorado Plateau. What? The Colorado Plateau is huge. Is a physiogeographic and desert region. So this is what I was talking about earlier with desert. Like desert, you think of this, but in reality, like high desert is like a different thing. Oh, yeah, high desert. Scattered area of forest in the... Okay, so it looks like we'll need some plateaus. This province is bound by the Rocky Mountains. The Book Cliffs. So wait, the people live down in these holes? Do they know that they're like hole dwellers? They probably don't like being called that. It's crazy how much stuff is on Wikipedia. Oh, that looks like that thing in Red Dead Redemption, too. It's probably based on that. Yeah, like... Casper, how's it going? We are learning about geography today. We're doing kid stuff. It's because my brain's old and crumbly. We're learning about the Colorado Plateau here, which is probably should be called something else because very little of it's in Colorado. The Araucanum. All right, so we'll put in plateaus. We have mountains. Plateaus. I don't even know how to spell plateau here. Plateaus. Comma. Plateaus we definitely need because we're going to have Colorado in our game here. Mountains we already got. Plains we already got. Deserts we already got. Hills. So hills... Let's look at the Appalachian foothills here. My bio dad sent me some pictures of my relatives once, like my ancestors. And I guess they're from Appalachian areas, and they were not impressive human beings. If you know what I'm trying to say. This one is not as exciting as the Colorado Plateau. These are mountains. I want hills. They're the foothills. Maybe we should put in hills. We should do hills because there might be a place that's mountains and hills, and then we... yeah, so hills will do. We're trying to preemptively save some pain later by adding in all the items now. Coastal, we already got. Swamps, we already got. Forest, we got. Tundra, we only got 9. Tundra, we don't have. And I kind of like the glacier concept of having, because when we have a map of North America, I wonder if we can get a terrain map of North America. Let's see here. Terrain map of North America. Are we going to include Greenland? This is elevation. I want elevation. I mean, I guess that does matter, but Topographical. Look at this thing in this map. It looks crazy mountainous. I mean, it is. I was just in Mammoth, which is somewhere. It's over here somewhere. It's kind of a wasteland to get there. Glaciers. Glaciers of North America. Yeah, so that's way up there. One of them is called Cool Glacier. Did I see that? I don't see it now. Cul-de-sac Glacier. Yeah, we need glaciers. In Alaska, yeah, we need glaciers. Just because it would be like something, another one like desert, where you kind of, it would be a kind of a shitty county to control. Yeah, we definitely need that, because we need some shitty stuff, right? Glacier. If only I could spell. It gets exhausting sometimes. Glacier. Exhausting, I say. What have you been up to, Casper? Glacier, and then tundra. Tundra versus glacier. Permafrost. Yeah, there's no heavy. Oh my God, Rimworld ice sheet start. Whew. Gotta eat your dog. Speaking of eating dogs, let's do tundra. RST. Okay, so I think we got everything. We plateaus, plains, rivers, swamps, desert. We're just going to use desert for all of the different types of deserts. Coast, river, plain. Let's double check our work here. Let's see what other... That was fine, I guess. What else we got? If there's anything that really... Forest? Yeah. Valley... Valley. Cave. Cave is not going to be something. Oh, we were going to put in Oasis, though. I think, so that's another thing I guess we got to think about. Can they? Yes. So I think we'll definitely want to do, some places will have two of the same, like, so it'll be plains. The primary thing will be plains, secondary will be plains, and then, or let's say desert, oasis. So we definitely want oasis. Oasis. Oh man, going back to work after vacations fucking sucks. I don't know. Valley. We have plateaus. What's an example of a valley? I mean, of a place. What are they talking about? See, so I think this would be covered by, plateaus, plains, and mountain. You know what I mean? Like, because we would have mountains, and then the plain would be the valley part. Yeah, I think and so you could have like mountains or whatever, hills, plains, and river, and that would cover this. This would make the valley. So I think we're good with that, the valley. Yeah, I always take a day off before my vacation starts if I'm going somewhere. Before my vacation starts, and a day off at the end after if I'm going somewhere, to have that extra day of actual like lay around and do nothing, because that's definitely 100% required for me. Okay, so then I'm gonna move this over here. I gotta make it so I can see this shit. And then we're gonna make sure we have a folder for each one of these. So we have coast, desert, forest. We need a new one called glacier. Glacier. I would like to retire. You know, I'm definitely too young for that, but um, uh, I do worry that I'll be bored. Hills, mountain. We already have. Oasis is new. Oh, I don't know. I was reading some Reddit post today about a guy in IT who got a job, and the guy who hired him told him to. I think he was in IT. Told him to take his graduation date off of his resume because of it showed how old he was, and the guy was 50 and I'm 51. I think he was like 54 or something. I'm 51, and I was like, man, I hope that the job that I currently have, like, never, nothing ever happens to it, so I can just work until I mean, I gotta work until I die anyways, right? So might as well stay at some place where I already know what's going on. To have to look for a new place to, and then tundra, a new place to work, and I don't know. All right, exactly. I don't know. It's just okay. We got all these things. Ruin's a special one for our thing. Um, right? Every day I could actually work on this game instead of on the weekends. Exactly. It's so, but the thing is, I know myself, and like, if I have days of nothing that I don't have to do anything, like, I'll spend a lot of time just like laying around and sleeping. Like, I don't have a problem showing up. Like, I don't sleep through work or anything, but yeah, I don't know. I have like so many little projects that I can work on too. You just gotta like motivate yourself, and it's hard to do. Self motivator, I think that's what they call it. I'm not. All right. Oh, we gotta do this shit. See, this is why I wanted to knock this out. This is just to kind of like be prepared for the bullshit we're gonna run into. So can we get both these up here? Coast, forest, glacier, uh, glacier, and then we're gonna actually be working on events, hills, mountains, oasis, oasis. Are you close to retirement age? I can't remember how old you are. I don't know if I ever knew. Plateaus. Plateaus. Did I spell that right? Plateaus? That just looks wrong to me. Wait, plateau. We don't want an S at the end. Plateau. And then what are we up to here? River, ruin, swamp, and then the final one here is tundra. Tundra. All right, then we need to actually put in the real thing here for this. Listening to this very... Who did this song? The Jim Carroll Band. It's like a mildly... I think it's about drugs. They made that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio or something. about him. Very long time ago. You can retire in 10 years if you got money. Yeah, are you gonna actually retire, or are you gonna, get a job at Walmart? You know what I'm talking about? The equivalent, uh, something to keep the boredom. Do you have projects? I know you're working on some stuff, but like, do you feel like you got the projects? What are we doing here? We're gonna go into 2D 4X. Localization. That stupid thing. Yeah, I wish I could somehow just spontaneously get a lot of money and just lay around for a couple of years. Terrain types. Here we go. I wonder if we have. Let's sort this. Why can't I remember how to sort anything? Sort A to Z. Except I wanted my. There's a way to do this without custom sort. Yeah. My data has headers is what we want. We want to go to column A. Guess it did it. All right. Yeah, like my job is incredibly easy. Like now that I've worked here for so long, I like know every problem. I know every person. There's new people. We hired this new person to like assist me, and I was telling her that like 99% of the people are like totally laid back. They're cool. There's a few dickheads. There's one guy, and I'm just shocked that guy has a fucking job because he's such a dickhead. But like it's I don't even stress on it. Whoops, I forgot all caps over here. Like dealing with that person or the two people that suck because everyone else it's so easy. But even then, I don't want to punch the clock anymore. And when I say punch the clock, I'm not hourly, but it's the equivalent, the idea of being forced to wake up in the morning. When I went on that vacation, it was kind of interesting. So I had a like 3.5 hour layover in Reno, Reno, Nevada, a place you would not want to spend any time in. You know what I mean? Like it's Reno, Nevada. There is nothing going on there. But I went outside to smoke a bunch of times, and the place I was smoking, the smokers area was next to where all the casino, they're not called buses, shuttles would pick you up. So like if you had booked anyone could have got on there because they want you to, go to the casino. But if you had booked a hotel at whatever, Caesar's Palace or whatever the fuck, I can't even remember what casinos are there. The shuttle would take you straight there and you could start your gambling thing. But I started getting this hankering to just say fuck the wedding that I was going to and just like jump on a random one of those shuttles and start a life of wandering. You know what I mean? Like I have money in the bank, just disappear for a couple of months. I had like some changes of clothes in my backpack. I had a computer in my backpack. Just take off for a while. Fuck it. That like seemed like that'd be kind of fun. And then like, I could like, whoops, not clear contents. I could take a bus to a better place because like, yeah, I could take the bus, right? The shuttle to Caesar's Palace or whatever the fuck it is, because there was a bunch of them. Get a hotel room, dump off my stuff, and wander the shitty assness of Oasis is is same in both languages. The shittiness of Reno and just wander the streets. So when I was 19, I went to Montreal. I've told this story 100 times. Um, and one of the things, I lived in Montreal for 3 months, and one of the things that I used to do when I was in Montreal, because I didn't know anyone, is I would take the metro, which is like the subway, there just to a random stop. I'd like ride it for like 45 minutes, and then I would take, maybe not 45 minutes, like 30 minutes, the metro to a random stop, random line, and I would get off and walk back, and it was fucking awesome. Sometimes I would get off and people would be like, this is like the rough neighborhood. I don't give a fuck. I don't have anything worth getting robbed for. And I would just wander around and like see the city. Like that was kind of awesome. And like look at the city and experience it from an unknown, and also like back then Montreal was more French. So like you would encounter more French-esque things. Did I tell you, Joker, I can get my Canadian citizenship? Get your couch ready. All right. Here we go. We got all this in here. My mom's a Canadian. My mom, and I guess if your mom's a Canadian, it's like a your mom joke that I'm setting up here. But like it would be awesome to do like just some random traveling like in Europe and stuff, but I don't want to be a tourist. The problem is being a tourist. I feel like I missed Hills. Is Hills in here? I did miss Hills. Did I miss like 5 things? Let's double check my work, man. Coast, desert, forest, glacier, insert. Hills. Wait, name. Hills. Hills. You're not going to translate it for me, huh? Hill. It should be hill. Not hills. And so this should be hill. And then wait, oasis, is that a plural? Oasi? Singular. Okay. All right. It's the same. We're just making sure. Mooses. I call them mises. I call it. You know how there's not a word for there's not a plural word for computer mouses. If you look it up, they say that it's mouses, but it's not. I call them mies. Okay. Now, I didn't finish double checking my work. Hill, mountain, oasis, oasi. Plain, plateau, river, ruin, swamp, tundra. There we go. This is now done. Close this. Re-import this. You didn't even know that you were messed up? Yes, you did. You're messed up. Come on, man. Don't lie to me. All right, so we did that. We have this set up so that we can get the train name for some reason. I don't remember why. We've now broken all of these things, but we did that on purpose so that we have to do this. We have to fix this a fewer number of times. I think where we were putting this information, though, was somewhere else. I don't think it's in here because these are scenes. I think we want to put it in resources, counties. And so this is these 3 are gonna be off because not all of them, but some of them are because we added stuff. So I'm gonna put this over here. Well, I guess I can put it right here so we can take a look. So this Cowlitz, let's put it over here a little farther. Cowlitz, well, now I can't see chat though. Can I make this, can I squishify this? I can squishify this. It's actually perfect. Ruins, we're having this like, when we put in like the Seattle area, we'll put ruins in there, but coast and river. All right, that's fine. This doesn't have to be perfect right now. Tillamook, we want coast, forest, and mountain. That sounds pretty good too. You know what happened is I didn't build this. I was like, why are these okay? Yeah, and back to the thing you said about not feeling like people are any. Going to Mammoth out in the boonies actually felt kind of attractive as well. Yeah, see, this threw off the thing. Ruins. Because it was like, it'd be interesting to live out in the boonies. I live in the suburbs of all things. I never thought I would live in the suburbs. Ruins, coast, and we had river in here. I think once again, this isn't like we'll make this for real at some point. Coast, forest, and glacier. Where's this place? This is Tillamook. I ate Tillamook ice cream, by the way. That was the type. There is a little bit. Let's put mountain. Douglas, which one are you? Douglas is you. No, that's Tillamook. Douglas is you. 33% explored because we don't have enough things there. We definitely don't. It's coastal. We can put some hills in here. And forest. Perfect. Portland. We want ruins. And I don't think we'll do forest and river. Wasco. Where are you, Wasco? Wasco, I don't remember. I did look it up at some point. We'll do forest, hills, desert. Yeah, sure, whatever. We're in Harney here. Desert. Hills. Didn't I put lakes in? I didn't do lakes after all that talk about lakes. God damn it. L. One more. Guess it doesn't really. LM. Doesn't really matter the order. Lake, not lakes. Lake. Translate, please. Lago. Then we close this. We can go to here. We can re-import. We got to go back over to here, and we got to go add lake. I was just looking how this is done. This has to match this order, or things get fucked up. No typos for this. No fuck ups here. Lake. Lake. So I noticed something, this is kind of off topic, but I noticed something with younger people at work that they often put spaces at the end of everything. So if they type in anything, they'll always just hit space at the end. And I was trying to figure out why that was. And when I say younger, I mean like 30 or younger. And so the reason why I even noticed it is because it becomes a problem with passwords. Um, oh, we got a bug there. What's going on? So what happens is that there'll be like a password field, and they'll hit space at the end, and so their password doesn't match. Most password, I don't know. No, I'm going to take back what I was about to say. So the thing is that I thought that was interesting, and I brought it up to the new person that was hired, and she got kind of offended. I wasn't saying as a negative thing. I was trying to figure out why. Why does it happen? Why is that like the thing now? Is it something they're teaching people in school? Is it because of phones? You know, like you're typing on your phone and you put in a word and you just automatically hit space. Is it because, let's say you want to spell check something, do you have to put a space at the end on like a normal like Word file? You know what I mean? Like, I wonder what it is. Okay, not unimportant. If you know, tell me. If you know why it seems like younger people put spaces at the end of everything, tell me. Okay. What the fuck are we doing? We're almost done here for the day. Maybe this is a good spot, actually. Especially because I have to go to the bathroom again. What do you want here? Why is that a... Yeah, I was about to say, why is that a capital S? That was weird. It's been working? Yeah, this is actually a pretty good spot. Because then, for real... Oh, we got to put in the one last folder, though. There is a lot of stuff in this game, and I assume in all games, that really require everything to be perfect. There cannot be any mistakes. That's where we want to be here. We want lakes. We'll double check this, I guess, too. Or lake. Oh, see, this says hills. I guess it's not the end of the world for this because it doesn't read what it actually says. It just we have plateaus. It just pulls them in. River. All right, yeah, this is actually a perfect spot because then we can tomorrow. So we're gonna have to like put in, like what you would find in the hills, what you would find in the lake, what you would find in the mountain, what you would. So this is gonna be kind of a. And we're not doing water. I wasn't gonna do water as a resource, but maybe we should. Maybe we should add water because that would add. Yeah. I'll have to think about that. All right. This is saved. Let's open up this puppy. Did we really do that many changes? Oh, I just fucked this up again. Let's fix this again. Excuse me. Let's build this. Let's fix the. I added in an enum. So yeah, these are all broken. Not here. Not here. No, we were in the right spot. Okay, so river, coast, plateau. No, it wasn't plateau. I don't remember what it was. Forest? I don't remember. Oh, you know, it was ruins. I just want another one to have ruins. Coast and forest. That's the same as Portland, though. We'll throw in something. It doesn't really matter. Let's throw some swamp up into Cowlitz. Who cares, right? Coast, forest, mountains. Douglas, coast, hills, perfect. River, ruins. Oh, it says lakes with an S. This says hills with an... Okay. I don't think that's going to adjust anything here. We'll just adjust the word on it. Okay, and we want forest. Oh, not two forests. What do we do? River. Wasco. We're also going to have to do a thing. We're going to have to go into our county improvements, and I hope I have this on the list somewhere. God damn it. Now I got to check. I think I did it. County improvements need to be adjusted. I'll do it. I'll put it in again. It's probably already on here. Let's look at the bottom. County improvements by terrain. So, like in a desert, there cannot be a fishing shack. Okay. What the fuck were we doing? Desert, hill, forest, sure, I don't care. This, Harney, you know what we haven't done is had two. Let's do a test with two things. Like two of the same. We should do it on here. That is Harney. Okay. Desert and mountains, sure. Oh, this is the one with the lake, though. This one, we will do two deserts. Sure. In a hill. I don't know. All right. Now it's all done. Now we're going to push this code. Adding events is finally ready. Additional terrains created. Commit and push. Select what to commit. Yeah. Yeah. What is this one file? Maybe I never checked that last time. We need to raid somebody too. What the fuck is this? I don't want to see this. Push this to here. I'm going to stop my music. Peter Gunn. Oh, the cramps. Okay, that makes sense. This is the music I was... What are... My YouTube thing looks all stuttery whenever I glance at it over here. Hopefully it is not all stuttery for people who were actually there. Somebody said last stream that it was... My voice was jittery or something. Actually, both... I would assume somebody would have told me that by this point. All right. Let's raid somebody here. Where's my raid button? Let's see who's up. Let's see who's up. We raided Stinkawinks. We raided Created by Critters. Inspired Chicken. What about... We haven't raided Munglo in a while. I don't think. Let's raid Munglo. We haven't raided him in a while. We're going back. I need a list is what I need to do. A list of people that I've raided so that I know when I last raided them, so we can not raid them to spread out the love. Guess who's not streaming? I don't know. Average devs screen, the hell you doing X? Diary? I'm sorry, I'm saying your name wrong. I'm making a 2D4X game. Like a strategy game. But we're working on trains for when people explore the areas, what they're going to get. But right now, we're going to raid someone, and I'm going to call it a day. Thank you guys for joining me. I always click this too late, and there's like a 10-second countdown. So, yeah, thank you guys for joining me. And tomorrow, we'll actually do events. We're actually ready to do events after like a month of me saying, today we're doing events. So that means probably tomorrow we will not do events. But yeah, thank you for joining me, and I will... talk to you tomorrow. Bye.